Caraxes is going to be the Drogon of this new series. Now, the main reason why I say that is because Prince Daemon is going to be the Daenerys, Jaime Lannister, Jon Snow, Oberyn Martell, and a little bit of Cersei Lannister of this show. So his dragon is going to be a bit of an equal sort of counterpart to Daemon. If we want to look, really, for this video in particular, I do have some information that I want to talk about. I think I've actually figured out the release date, but really, Caraxes' original owner was this fellow named Prince Daemon. Now, just to relate him to this series, in short, he was the father of Princess Rhaenys, who is the wife of Corlys Velaryon. So, basically, Daemon is riding the dragon of Rhaenys' father, right? So if you need to know, in particular, who Aemon was, he was a member of House Targaryen, and he was the third-born child of King Jaehaerys and Alysanne. Remember, Jaehaerys is the grandfather of Viserys and Daemon. He's the one who actually passes the reins of the kingdom to Viserys. Now, real quick, before I jump into the contents of this video, I ask you all to do me a lot of favors, and it's usually, slap a like. The like goal's 420. Make sure you subscribe and make sure to turn your notifications on. Well, it's time that I give a little bit back and try to entice you guys. Now, I did recently announce a giveaway for one of my paintings, and I contacted that person via DMs on Twitter, but they never responded to me. So maybe you're watching this video, and since you don't really go on your Twitter that much, send me a DM down below. But basically, the person who was chosen was Sir Claymore Moisturizer. If that's you, let me know down below and I'll try to send out one of these paintings. But for this video and for the next couple of videos, I'll try to have this giveaway going for half the month. So maybe I'll do another one. Okay, all that aside, I'll try to do 2 giveaways a month. For this video, if you want to enter the giveaway for a $20 Amazon gift card, I know it's not much, but it's really all I could do. If you want to enter the giveaway for that, please, all you have to do to enter that giveaway is make sure you're subscribed and have your notifications turned on. Then most importantly, leave a comment down below on this video explaining to me what you would do with the $20 Amazon gift card. Obviously, the most creative answer will probably win. Long night, and here's your sign. Alright, now jumping into the meaty, juicy, lustrous, I don't even know, the details of this video, right? So Matt Smith was on a podcast recently, the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, and the episode that he was on was only about 40 minutes, and at about 31 minutes in, he starts talking about House of the Dragon. And one of the things that I noticed in particular, really, is that he said that filming wraps in January, and that they started in March. Now that's weird. We thought for the longest the internet had the release date for House of the Dragon Season 1 is January 2022. So maybe that could be, internet algorithm getting itself confused when that's when, principal filming wraps. That would make a lot more sense. Maybe they're allowing themselves a few extra days to film reshoots. And also, if you think about it, that's the longest it's ever really taken to film the filming part of any seasons of Game of Thrones. Now, obviously, COVID protocol is likely what added a bunch of time onto that, but we have to realize, I think that everything is going to be finished, and this show will be into post-production by January. So not just being wrapped with filming, but also it will be well into post-production. They're working on the CGI elements right now. We've seen leaked images of all of the things that they absolutely had to film outdoors. The things that are going to be coming in the next few weeks, including a lot of the night shoots that we didn't get that many images of. Those are going to be the big moments of the season. And also, with that massive new sound studio in Linden in the UK, maybe there's a big chance that the biggest parts of the season, like where, 30 some odd people were lit on fire, is actually filmed indoors there. Last time it was filmed outside, but, this show has got more money into it, so maybe they were able to film it in sequences indoors. Matt Smith also goes on to mention, and this is the most exciting part, that Caraxes is pretty good. Quote, he's big, red, and angry. And he says, a bit jokingly, but he says, mine is the angriest of all the dragons. He's a real moody bastard, is what he said. And also, he goes on to mention that it will be hard for them to ever be as popular as Thrones was, because obviously, Game of Thrones broke barriers, right? So Game of Thrones came out at a time, and it was the first. It's always hard to be as good as the first. But I think Matt Smith knows that this show has the potential to be as great. Maybe not greater than, but just as great. And in a different way, because this is a different show entirely. Also, he does mention that the role that he's playing is going to be darker. Another thing that he mentions is that he had, a bunch of sword fights, which we obviously know when you put that with these leaked pictures, that, he's going to be performing a lot of these stunts to really embody the role of Prince Daemon. Now, just sort of relating to, him calling the dragon red, I did see a couple of comments saying, that sort of confirms that there's maybe some finished CGI. I don't think so. I think Matt Smith probably read up and knows what his dragon looks like. Give it to remember that some of the first images that ever came out for this show was concept art, and we saw, Prince Daemon's dragon. We saw Caraxes. So Matt Smith has known for a while that his dragon was going to be red. But one thing that he for sure has seen is the way that his dragon reacts in certain scenes. He's being directed to react a certain way if his dragon snarls or maybe breathes fire really heavily. So traditionally, or around this time, Targaryens would put their dragon eggs in the crib with babies, right? So that way when the Targaryens grew up, the dragon egg would hatch and they would have an ultimate bond and connection with that dragon. Well, Caraxes is around before Daemon, and it's mentioned specifically in the books that Caraxes is about half the size of Vhagar, and Vhagar is 3 times the size of Tessarion. So, judging by, the size of Caraxes in this show, I think it's possible that maybe Caraxes will be the size of Drogon and season 6 of Game of Thrones. Remember, before Daenerys ever crosses over to the Narrow Sea and she gives that speech after she burns down the huts at Vaz Dothrak, that size will likely be the size of Caraxes. I've tried to put that image up for you right now. And before Vhagar is stolen by Aemon, Daemon's wife Lena rides Vhagar. So Vhagar and Caraxes bond, right? So it's going to be interesting to see. Just one more thing before I get out of here to sort of, reiterate how strong Caraxes is. Caraxes is able to kill Vhagar, who is double the size of it, and then also is able to have enough strength after the fight, even though Vhagar is dead, to pull itself ashore, and its guts are mentioned to be spewing out of its side. It obviously dies right there in front of Harrenhal, but the fact that the dragon is that powerful also lends credence to the rumors that Daemon survived that battle. If his dragon was able to pull himself out of the water and then die, maybe Daemon was able to pull himself out of the water and mend from and sort of heal from his injuries. I don't know. You all let me know what you think down below in the comment section. All right, now I feel like I'm rambling, so this is a good point to wrap this video up. But the last thing I want to mention is that I think, relating to what I said earlier, the principal filming and the show itself, the first season, will be way into post-production. I think they're going to fully wrap filming before January, and by the time 2022 really gets here, we're going to be in post-production. That lines up perfectly with them releasing a trailer before the first ever official Game of Thrones convention that's happening in Vegas. I think they're going to release the trailer before that, because that would build up the hype for that new convention and would make a whole bunch more people want to go there, especially if they have the main trailer and we actually get lines of dialogues from several different characters. Remember, those trailers tend to be several minutes. So if that's the case, and Matt Smith and Olivia Cook and Rhaenyra, right, so Emma Darcy, they all have lines in the trailer. Well, if they're at this convention, well, that would make a lot more sense. It's sort of like my idea of how I think Winds is going to be released with House of the Dragon Season 1 next year. All right. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Remember, if you want to enter that giveaway to win a $20 Amazon gift card, all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed and have those notifications turned on. And then also like this video and leave a comment down below explaining to me what you would do with the $20 gift card if you want it. I want to thank you all again so much for watching, and a super special shout out to every single member of my Patreon family over on patreon.com/SirHuntsReviews. My name's Mark, and this has been Long Night. Sir Hunts, boom. reviews. Yeah, and another thing, I forgot, sort of trailed off there. If they do release the trailer before the actual convention, which is I think like February 18th in Las Vegas, if they do release the trailer before then, that's awesome because then that means, at least judging by the past, that the show will have been completely done with filming, the entirety of season 1, and it's almost being completed with, post-production. Main reason being is because if it doesn't finish until January, then they're in post-production all the way up until April. Well, that means the air date would be like maybe late summer, and that would run really close to when Amazon's Lord of the Rings show is coming out. Remember, they announced the release date for that was going to be in September, and they announced that several months ago. So obviously HBO and Game of Thrones are going to try to get their show out before that. So just so that it's not competing, right? So you don't want to have too much fantasy on at one time. Like, obviously, I would love that, but I don't think HBO would do that. I don't know. You all let me know what you think about that down below in the comment section.